Today's daily journal is about finding media balance. So we're going to talk a little bit about using media. That would include social media, video games, tablets, screens, TVs, computers, and how we can do it in a responsible way that kind of fits in with a healthy lifestyle. So we're going to do some writing about this, some reflecting about this, and we'll be talking about this together later today. So what does media balance mean for me? What does balancing media in my life mean? Do your parents ever ask you to make sure not to have too much screen time, or is that a conversation you've had with your family before? Why is it important to balance the time that we're connected maybe on social media or video games and time that we're doing other things? Well, video games can be a lot of fun. And it is important to have fun, to relax, to hang out with friends. That is important. But it's important that we balance that with exercise and time outside as well. Exercise is important for our body, and there's just a certain kind of fun that we have when we're running around that is important for keeping our body and our mind healthy and happy. It is, of course, we're using our iPads for school. We're going to be working quite a bit with technology, and that's okay. It is an important tool. But there's some things to keep in mind. It's important to limit the amount of time that you're on your iPad right before bed. Definitely don't use, if you can help it, any screen time for about an hour before you go to sleep. It's going to help you fall asleep. It's hard to fall asleep if you've been staring at a screen. It does affect your brain, actually. It's the light, that blue light from that screen. It's kind of telling your body that it's daytime, and it's not if you're about to go to bed. So you need to get your brain used to the idea that you're about to fall asleep. Stay off the screen right before bed. We should balance that kind of stuff with hands-on art and activity and crafts with our friends and family. It's important that we're continuing to practice skills like artistic skills and creating skills. When we're done with projects like hands-on projects, we can look at what we made and see that we have something to show for it, and that's a lot of fun. Another thing we're going to be talking about is social media. So how are we connecting to people online, and what's an appropriate way to do that? Also, are we balancing our time on social media, on our phones, with real social time with our friends and family in person? So are we putting away our technology and our phone at dinner time? And when friends and family are talking to us and engaged with us, do we keep our technology put away so that we're not distracted and we can give the people in front of us our full attention? We balance this with quiet alone time as well, where we're not connected to the internet or to other people, and we can just reflect and be ourselves. And that's kind of like part of recharging our internal battery. It's just having that quiet time to ourselves. All right. So last week you started talking about or planning your perfect day, a day in my life. Where you could do anything that you wanted. What would that include? So the purpose of this is to start thinking a little bit about what that perfect day looks like. Does it include any media at all? Maybe it doesn't. If you had a perfect day, it might be a pretty adventurous day. I know a perfect day for me might include some traveling, maybe in a country I've never been to, maybe some cool hikes into forests or jungles that I would be excited to visit. Might include some delicious meals, hanging out with some friends, maybe watching the sunset at the end of the day. Everyone's perfect day is going to look a little bit different, but this exercise is just a fun way to think about how we would plan a day if we had a lot of control over that day and how we would fit various things into that day. So if you've already done this writing, that's fantastic. And if not, you can pause this video now and spend some time writing. I'm encouraging you to try to write if you can. Try to get about a half a page written if you can. And if you want to do some more writing, even if you did last week, now go ahead. Maybe there's something else you thought of that you would want to add to your perfect day. So go ahead and pause now if you need to, and then we'll move on. Do make sure that you're writing in your language notebook. Make sure you have a title at the top of the page so it's easy to identify. And when we're done writing today, we're going to be uploading it to this assignment. All right. All right, so let's take a look at these pictures here. What do you think of when you see these images? What do they show? And how do they show it? You can pause the video if you need to. I want you to write a few words now about what you think of when you see these images. All right. Well, one important idea that they show is the idea of balance. Balance means that all the parts are working together. They're not necessarily equal in every way, but they work together so that they kind of form a better whole. So one way to think about this is eating sweets versus eating healthy, nutritious food. So a good treat every once in a while is a great thing. It makes us feel good, and we can kind of enjoy some special flavors that you might not eat all the time. But we know that it's important to balance that out with healthy food too, with vegetables and breads, greens, proteins. And in order to have these in balance, it's not about eating the same amount of healthy food as you eat candy. You don't eat, 3 healthy meals a day and then 3 meals of candy a day. To have a balanced diet, to have that work together, we eat a smaller amount of candy than we do healthy food. And when we do that, then we're eating a balanced diet. So you see how a balanced diet doesn't mean we eat the same amount of candy as healthy food, but it means that we eat the right amount of each. So they work together to make us feel good and also, have a healthy body and a healthy mind. So we're just going to watch a short little video here about my media balance, and we'll move on when we're done with this.
Every day, we make choices about what we do. We choose what we eat. We choose what to wear. And we make choices about the media we use. And these choices affect how we feel. Some media choices make us feel happy, curious, or excited. Other media choices help us feel loved. But others could make us scared, or stressed out, or even angry. So, what is media balance? It's about making healthy media choices. Thinking about what you choose, when you use it, and how much of it you consume. Then thinking about how these choices make you feel, because making healthy media choices is different for everyone. And remembering that sometimes the best media choice might be no media at all. So, what does media balance look like for you?
All right, so what is media balance? I'd like you to spend a little bit of time doing some writing. Just one sentence. What is media balance to you? And what does that look like in your life? Is that a conversation you've had with your family? Is that a conversation you've had with your friends? What does having some balance with the media you use look like? Media balance means using media in a way that feels healthy with other life activities like your family and your friends, sports, activities, hobbies. All right, well, what makes a healthy media choice? The last writing you're going to do today is talking about the what. What kind of media do you use or do you make? What kind of platforms are you into? Do you have an Xbox? Do you have? Are you into watching stuff on Netflix? Or what devices are you using to create media? And when are you consuming? That means using or creating that media. Is it in the morning, the middle of the day, the end of the day? When are you doing your schoolwork? When are you maybe playing video games or chatting with people online? What else is happening at that time? Is it dinner time? Is it right before bed? Is it the middle of the day when you're supposed to be getting your schoolwork done and you're using your iPad to get schoolwork done? And then how much? Is it 2 hours, 3 hours, 1 hour, 5 hours? How much are you using it? And we'll use these responses here in our discussion later. So here, you'll divide a page up or some space on your page with a what space and a when space and a how much space. And go ahead and do some writing and some reflecting about kind of how you're making media choices and finding that balance in your life. All right, if you have any questions, let me know. Have fun with this project, and I'll talk to you all later.